Yeah, yeah. I'm living my best life. Made a couple M's, you know. Said I'm living my best life. Said I'm living my best
Hello
life.
everybody, welcome back to my channel, Random Opinions, Reaction, and Reviews. If you don't know who I am by now, you gotta get with the program. I am coming to you today to do a review on General Hospital. Today's date is May 23rd, I believe. Let's go ahead and get into it because I'm so excited, you guys. It was like amazing today. So the first thing, we open up with Sam with Shiloh, and Shiloh is still in disarray because of, he knows that he has a baby out there some way. And Sam is telling him, trying to further this plan along and telling him, don't worry about anything and don't let anything ruin the night, and that they can pick up from, the baby and all of that tomorrow. And Shiloh's like, yes, you're right. Let's go ahead and get you initiated into Dawn of Day. So they proceed to do this ceremony. Now he offers Sam the tea. And Sam's like, no, I don't need the tea. And he's like, do you trust me, Sam? And she's like, yes. And she was like, well, I told you last time I didn't need the tea. And that applies. Like, I fully trust you. And he assures her that this is all a part of the ceremony. It's all a part of the plan. And so she decides to take it. Now, I think the real reason why Sam decided to say no the first couple times is because they're supposed to be recording everything, and she wants it to be on record that she said no. You know what I'm saying? So it'll give them a stronger case when they try to prosecute him, depending on what evidence they can get against this guy. So she takes the tea, and he proceeds to go ahead and tattoo her, and and she sits through the whole ceremony. And I believe she said in there, she said like the tea is stronger than she thought it would be. And then when Jason heard that, I'm gonna come back to that. But Jason just looks so stressed and worried right now. So Jason and Sonny are in the car and they're listening in on everything. And Sonny's like, I forgot how good Sam is. Like, she's very convincing. And Jason's like, she's doing what she needs to do, But he really this plan isn't sitting right with him. He's listening, he's attentive, trying to make sure nothing happens to his ex-wife, his lover, his woman, his baby mama, his everything. He's trying to make sure ain't nothing finna happen to her. So he's very attentive and just focus based. Then we go back, and she says, like, this tea is stronger than I thought it was. And Jason's like, oh, we got to go in there now. So Sonny and Jason go in there, and there's two guys waiting because DOD is always open, so they were able to get right in. There's two guys waiting for them, and they're like, oh, Shiloh said you couldn't come in here. And Jason was like, he had his gun in his hand. He mollywopped somebody so fast. And then he went on about his thing trying to find Sam. And then Sonny is fighting his guy, and Sonny clocks the guy with his Glock and knocks him upside the head on the table, and these guys are knocked out. So then they proceed to go find Sam and like find clues to like the pledges and all of that. But Sonny's looking for the pledges. Jason is worried about Sam. So Sonny tells him, I'm gonna, stick around here. You go find Sam. Because when they get there, she's not in there. And Jason has a feeling that he knows where they are. Because remember, way back when, a couple months ago, Shiloh took Sam to like that tower that he has and everything. So I think that's where Sam is gonna be at. But Jason knows because Jason's been there. I could be wrong, because that would be stupid for Shiloh to take her there if he like left so that nobody would know where they were at, because we all know Jason knows where the tower is at. So I digress. But it was really cool to see that ass kicking scene, like when they was like kicking butt. Like, we haven't seen one of those scenes in a long time, I believe, since like Jason beat up Franco. But it's always good to have a little action in General Hospital just to keep us on our toes. So I really enjoyed that scene. Then we go to Brad and Lucas. Lucas is freaking out because he's put everything together, and he knows that Willow is the mother, Shiloh is the father now of Wiley. So he's still freaking out because he's like, if this is true and everything is the way I think it is, then this adoption is technically illegal because Shiloh never signed over his rights as a father. He didn't know about the baby. So they could possibly lose Wiley. So Lucas is freaking out. Brad is still freaking out because if you guys remember, Brad lied about everything. So the baby that they have is actually Michael's baby. Brad switched the baby because Willow's baby died, and so Brad ended up switching the baby with Nell's baby, and Nell and him figured that out to like keep the baby away from Michael, because you know Nell was just a B-I-T, you know, the last two letters. But so they do the baby swap, and so Wiley is not really Wiley, he's actually Jonah. So they're still freaking out. Lucas doesn't know that part, but Brad is continuing to lie, you guys. Like, he's freaking out because he already knows he's gonna be in hot water. So he's continuing to lie, and Brad is just a mess. And Lucas, he's scared that they're gonna lose Wiley, you know. Then we go to TJ and Jordan. This new TJ, he's too, like I said, he's not like the other TJ. I miss the other TJ. But anyway, Jordan, I guess she was out for a little while because of an infection, and dialysis is taking a toll on her body. And she doesn't have a donor because Kevin, he qualified as a donor, but you know, he's pre-diabetic, so they can't use his kidney. And Jordan, when she wakes up, she immediately wants to know where Curtis is at. And then Curtis texts them and let them know that he's okay. He's back in town. He'll be there in a little while. So when Curtis gets there, she's all like asking questions about Ryan. My problem is with her, why do you need to know about Ryan, Jordan? You are in the hospital. There is nothing you can do. You cannot go back to work. You're in a bad condition. Your kidneys are messed up. Like, there is nothing you can contribute to this investigation. So why are you wanting to know about the investigation? Like, she just never learns. So then Curtis tells her Ryan is still alive, and she goes into VTAC, you guys. For those of you who do not know what VTAC is, basically her ventricles started to like contract really fast, and that can lead to cardiac arrest. So her heart stopped, pretty much. It was racing really fast, and then it stopped. And so she could have died. And Curtis is beating himself up. Like, I should have never told her. I should have never told her. And TJ's letting him know, look, you had no way of knowing. She asked you that information. You were just being a good husband and providing that to her. You know, and then Monica comes and checks her out, you know, and says that her heart basically cannot take the dialysis anymore. She's too weak. And Curtis doesn't know that Kevin can no longer be a donor because of his condition that he has. So Curtis is like, I don't understand why this is a big deal when we have a donor. And they're like, oh, we forgot to tell you, Kevin doesn't qualify, you know. So then he starts freaking out. He's like scared that he's gonna lose his wife, you know. TJ's scared that he's gonna lose his mom, you know. And they had to intubate her and everything, so she's not doing good right now, you guys. Then we go on to excuse me, Chase and Curtis. Now, this is before Curtis met with TJ and Jordan at the hospital. So they're talking, and Curtis is pretty much filling Chase in on what happened. He's telling her about April Tremblay and how Ryan killed her, and how she was like helping Ryan to stay in Canada and all of this, and now she's dead, and how Ryan tried to kill him and Laura. You know, just filling Chase in on everything. And we go to Willow and Michael. Michael's just there to reassure Willow and let her know that she's not in this alone. You know, and then Chase comes up and he's talking to Willow. He can sense that something is awry. He wants to know what's going on. And she tells him Shiloh knows about the baby. So Michael and Chase, they put their heads together to make sure that Shiloh doesn't come near Wiley or Willow. You know, they're gonna, I guess, work together to make sure that those two are both safe, you know. And you know, something Chase said, he said, I very selfishly want you to be safe. That was so sweet. I'm like, look at him. He's just so sweet. Oh. Anyway, Lucas and Brad, right? And they're still freaking out. They're like trying to figure out, piece everything together, and then Willow and Michael walk up as they're leaving the Metro Court. Michael finds out that Wiley is Willow's son. And so he's like, hold on, my godson is your son? How come you never told me? And then, it clicks that, oh, it's because of Shiloh. She didn't want anybody to know, And she's like, I came to Port Charles because I was trying to get away from Shiloh. She says, I did not know that he was going to be establishing a branch here in Port Charles. Lucas is just so rude to Willow. I don't know. I mean, I know why. It's because he's scared of losing Wiley, but he's just being rude. Brad is on the fence and he's defending Shiloh, and Willow's just telling him, look, I moved away from Shiloh because he was a treacherous person. And Brad is just there defending Wiley. He's there defending Shiloh? How can he be this treacherous? You guys haven't told me one thing that he did wrong. And Michael is like, look, he's committed extortion. He's committed sexual assault. He's done this and that and that. And still it's not enough for Brad. He's drugging women. He puts on up a front. Like, everything about this guy is a lie. Brad still doesn't want to see. He has a blindfold over his eyes. Like, he's just so stupid. So they all put their heads together in order to keep Shiloh away from Wiley and to protect Wiley. Now, I don't know how this is going to go with Brad, just because Brad is just so stupid. But I'm hoping that Brad cares enough about his own secret to not put Wiley up to Shiloh. You know what I'm saying? Not hand deliver that baby, because at first that's what he was doing before he found out Shiloh was the dad. He was taking Wiley to Donna Day, and that was one of the reasons why Willow decided to stay instead of leaving town, was because Brad started to get close to Donna Day and started to take their son to Shiloh. Kevin, remember, he was hanging from like a straitjacket from the ceiling in the nurses' ball, and everybody seen him, so they all take him down to make sure he's okay, he's breathing. And as that happens, that's when Laura and Curtis walked in, and Laura's like frantic. She's like, oh my God, what happened to Kevin? But we see Kevin is still alive. He is okay. He's telling them about what Ryan is planning on doing, and then he realizes that Ava is nowhere to be found. So then he starts to get worried about Ava. And Lucy is the only one lost, you guys. Lucy was like a ditzy blonde again. Like, oh, okay, so this was all a charade. They're explaining this like charade to Margot and what happened and how they went to draw Ryan out and whose plan it was. We all know it was Felicia's plan, and Lucy had nothing to do with it. So Margot was like, if you don't have anything to do with it, Lucy, you need to go. And she was like, I knew Kevin was too good to fall for somebody like Ava. I should have known this was a plan, Anyway, so then, everybody's worried about Ava. And then Kevin, because he's so smart, it clicks in his head. This is what Ava wanted all along. She wanted to lose them and lose contact with everybody so that she can kill Ryan herself. So, and they're like, oh, makes sense, we go to the scenes with Ryan and Ava, you guys, like, that woman is smart. Like, you gotta love Mara West and what she brings to the Ava character. Now, I always said that Ava's character was patterned after Faith Roscoe. Remember Faith Roscoe from back in the early 2000s? She was a mobster and, getting into it with Sonny and them. Like, Ava is a more competent Faith Roscoe. Like, she does it better than Faith Roscoe. But Faith was the first one to do it on General Hospital, so you gotta give her respect, But she already knows that Ryan is in the back watching and waiting. She's sipping on her little alcohol, just waiting, looking out the side of her eyes. And she completely plays dumb when Ryan comes in, you guys. And Ryan's got a knife. And he's pretty much jealous that Ava is in a relationship with his brother. And Ava is laying it on thick, you guys. She is playing that role like, I only was with Kevin because he was the closest thing to you. And he's like, I hope you're not lying, Ava, you know. And Ava gets him to put his knife down. He's like really believing everything she's saying, guys, because it sounded believable. Like everything, like he even called her out on the Kiki thing. Like, you know, I killed your daughter and you're not mad at me. And she's like, you know what? Kiki and I, like, you killed Kiki because me and Kiki wasn't getting along and you were trying to do something good for me, you know? And she's like saying everything that he wants to hear. And so he's like completely like blindsided, and she gets him to drop that knife and put that knife down, and she's talking about running away and living happily ever after, and she turns around and whips out that gun on him, you know? So I can't wait to see those scenes tomorrow, see what happens, you know? I am excited. I'm here for it. Like I've been saying, like I've been waiting for this moment. Well, Margot's just, she's looking for, well, she actually told Chase to put out, no, she told Chase to make sure that if they see Ryan, like if they can bring him in, if they can't, to shoot him on arrival, like kill him point blank, you know? And so, she is just in her feelings because everybody is like laying into her. Laura laid into her for calling off the search. Like they're like, I'm pretty sure Laura, since she's the mayor, she can have her job. I don't know how it works, but yeah, Laura is not feeling Margot, and she feels like she's incompetent, and she turned a blind eye, and because she turned a blind eye, so many people have died because of Ryan, you know. So Sonny and Margot meet, and Margot's like, man, I do not have time for this. I have a serial killer to look for. And Sonny's putting that dagger in deeper. Oh, you mean the serial killer that you called off the search for? You know, being petty, because that's what Sonny do. And so he's like, no, I don't care about that right now. I need to know where your leader is at. Where is Shiloh? You get to know where Shiloh is, but he's taking Sam somewhere, you guys. And Sam wanted to get up and leave, but she's drugged out her mind, so she can't. And he is really creepy. He definitely wants Sam sexually, so we'll see if Jason gets to her in time. I'm excited to find out what happens. And, you know, if Sam, like, I mean, she already has the mark of the beast, I'll call it, the mark of the beast on her, because Shiloh has tatted her. So I don't know how they're going to get rid of that tattoo or whatnot, but Sam, whoa, like, the fact that she was even willing to do this is just crazy to me. But like I said, I received some enlightenment yesterday, so I'm trying to, like, slowly, you know, get into the feel of this story. So we'll see where it goes from here, you guys. You know, it was just some good things that happened today. Very, very interesting storylines. Willow yelling out how, you know, Donna Day is a cult. I'm excited to see where this whole Wiley Willow thing is gonna go, and once they find out that Wiley is not really Willow, he's Jonah. Like, I need this baby switch to, it needs to accelerate. The storyline needs to be over. Like, we need Michael to find out that he's really a dad, and we know that Brad, his happy ever after, is going to come tumbling down, and I'm here to watch and wait for that to happen, because Brad is just low down and dirty for knowing that that baby was Michael's and not saying anything, you know. But I want to know what you guys felt about today's episode. If there's anything that you would change, is there any storyline that you would get rid of at this instant, that you hate, that you don't like? Please comment. Your feedback is very important. I cannot stress that enough. It is very important to me to know what I need to work on. I would like suggestions. I like to hear you guys' thoughts, because your thoughts help me with my thoughts, you know. And I will see you guys later. Oh, by the way, like, if you can hear raspiness in my voice, like, I don't know if you guys see my eyes, like, I have a cold. Worst time ever to have a cold, because it is warm outside and there is nothing to fight off the germs. So I am struggling, you guys. But like I said, Leave your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell to receive notifications. Let's get me to 300 subscribers. I'm growing steady, slowly. I'm patient. I just need you guys to continue supporting me, continue watching. I will see you guys later. Thank you. Bye.
I finally made my mind know that I can't go back broke. They saying that my time up, my back against the ropes. I hustle, got my grind, know that when I made the most. I had faith every night and I never lost no hope.